Welcome back to the Inner Alchemist TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look into Nell Fletcher of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Before we get started, please go ahead and like the video. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and that you have your notification bells on. For those of you guys who are new to the channel or you're just now learning about me, I want to give full disclosure. I am not a mellometer. I am not the judge. I'm not the jury. I'm not the prosecutor. I'm not the one that's responsible for liking or disliking somebody. I'm simply a tarot reader and a content creator. So please just view things open-mindedly and remove all of your expectations. Because I'm not trying to disappoint you guys. I've been trying to be very clear about where I stand, but it's like I'm going through these cycles, where people are, it's just weird, and I don't want that. I don't want that. If you're trolling on my channel, I'm gonna block you. I'm not gonna feed any more energy into it, and that includes content creators. So I've been consistent on what I stand on from the very, very beginning. If you don't like it, please just unsubscribe and keep it moving, okay? Because I really don't want to have to get in my bag. I really, really don't, right? I did a spread on Nell Fletcher like a couple days ago, and it was showing that her and Chris maybe were looking for a marriage counselor or seeking some type of therapy or family therapy or something like that. I ended up scrapping the reading because I felt like, okay, I didn't want to just put that kind of energy out because the buzz was surrounding the premiere of the show. And I'm like, let me just wait off. Something told me to kind of wait off a bit. So I decided to wait off. And I decided to pull another spread. Unfortunately, some of the same energies are coming up. So we'll just have to see how that plays out, right? Nell's coming in as the star card, which for me represents being a star. Especially when it comes to being on the show, being a character or being a personality on the show. Now, her star card is crossed by the Six of Pentacles. And so I see this as Nell kind of trying to get a little bit more airtime and trying to maybe balance out her role on the show. Maybe she wants to take a little bit more of a leading role on the show, but at the same time, she's going to be required maybe to give more of herself. Maybe people want to hear more about her family or her relationship issues. And I show that this is the path, or this is the way for her to gain more screen time, essentially, is how I'm seeing it. I show that there's definitely her wishing that something comes good out of the information that they bring to the table or what they decide to share. And that she thinks if she pours herself into the show a little bit more, that they're hoping for some type of reward to come out of it. Now, I don't know, because I did a reading like a little while back, and I was talking about Nell being like an aspiring socialite. And I remember people were like, no, she doesn't even want to be on the show. That's her husband who wants to be a star. But I don't know how I really feel about that, because I'm showing that she wants it too. She wants visibility, or she wants to be more of kind of like a leading lady on the show, or given like main character energy at least. But like I said, it's requiring that she give up a little bit more of her personal story in order to achieve that. And so, like I said, I feel like that's what she's going to be doing. And I feel like she's hoping that it works out. Now, in the recent past, I saw the Judgment card here. And I saw that with her, the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles represents maybe like a young adult child. And I know that they have a son. With the Judgment card, this can represent like issues with the law. We saw in a newspaper or the blogs or whatever you want to call it, that this son had issues with the law. The Knight of Pentacles is like a mover or a shaker in the streets, somebody that's maybe trying to get money, or even if it's not in the streets, there's maybe some type of industry that they're in that requires hustling, but they also have a hard time getting maybe off their feet a little bit. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe he's at a crossroads or at a standstill, and maybe there's like a decision that he needs to make about where he's going to go moving forward, and that being like some type of bearing on the show. The other thing that showed in their last spread was somebody having like a mental illness or some type of like psychological breakdown, and that came in with another one of the Knight cards. And so that's making me feel like this might be pertaining to the same young person. It's genderless. It could be a boy, it could be a girl. I'm not able to tell, but Pentacles are usually brown skinned individuals. So that's what I'm showing there. The Judgment card is actually in reverse. And like I said, the Judgment card in reverse can sometimes refer to legal situations and it not having like the best outcome, or like I said, being in trouble or getting in trouble due to your pursuit of, I guess you could say, money, you know what I mean, or something like that, or some type of hustle or something like that. And basically not balancing that situation out with the Two of Pentacles is leading to some type of consequence. I don't want to say I'm getting like setup energy. It's not that so much. It's just like somebody like having dropped the ball because they were doing something in excess, or just like going balls to the walls, or something like that. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. I feel like this is a person that has been needing to change, but they've been resisting that change in some type of way. Or I don't know if they're trying to like change their own ways, or there's like some situation that's like threatening to them to where they're forced to change their own ways because they refuse to adhere to the wake up call or something like that. This also shows that this relationship with this child is a source of contention within the entire family unit, and that there's like a breakdown of communication. Maybe this person feels like they are not invited or included in family things. Or like I said, if it's a legal situation, this is somebody that's not going to be happy with the way that it turns out. You know what I mean? But other than that, it could actually be somebody feeling judged, or feeling like people are too harsh or too critical or being judgmental of that person, and them kind of deciding or weighing what type of involvement they want to have with the family with the Two of Pentacles, based on the fact that they feel harshly criticized, and they even feel like people have like some type of like prejudice against them, maybe because they're not established, or maybe because they are taking like it's taking them too long to grow up. The Knight of Coins moves really slow, you know what I mean? So this is a person that is not necessarily delayed, but they don't take the fast route, they take the scenic route, and it's almost like they're being judged for enjoying like the process or something, or enjoying life, or just not. And everybody's like, you need to decide, you need to do something, you like that, and they're just like, I'm just kind of feeling myself out, I'm just kind of figuring myself out, you know what I mean? It's something like that. Now, as far as Nell, honestly, I wish Nell is having some type of having some type of like anger issues. I don't know what's going on, but there's two cards of Nell being bitter and angry, and both of them have to do with her relationship with the guy Chris. I saw this in the last spread that I did, and I'm seeing it now. In this spread, I have the Two of Cups in reverse, as well as the Lover card, and I have that Queen of Swords, and I have also the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups, this represents an extramarital affair. I don't know if this is Nell. This is in the conscious environment. So I don't know if this is because they were talking on the show about her having been a side chick, or if there's an active side chick in their life right now. But Chris Fletcher was coming in as being deceitful and dishonest about something, and also emotionally unavailable or checked out of the relationship altogether. So again, this could have something to do with the children. It's possible. It's possible, but at the same time, there is this other woman here, and she is the Queen of Wands. Now, also the Queen of Wands, like I said, represents some type of anger, or some type of like, I don't want to say Nell's like being a bitch, but when you come in as a Queen of Wands in reverse and in your conscious environment, and your actual self is coming in as the Queen of Swords, that means that you are very angry about something, or very tired about something. The Queen of Swords can represent an evil stepmother. So I don't know if this is pertaining to stepchildren. We know there was a rift there. And then the Queen of Wands, that's like a ball busting ass wife. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe there's a situation that they came across where it was discovered that the guy Chris was lying, or that there was some other woman in the picture. When I did their spread like 3 or 4 months ago, I saw the same Queen of Wands in that spread as well. And maybe she's like on some cutthroat shit where she's like really just got this nigga balls in a vice grip. And she's, I don't know, but there's like an issue of her being angry about something, right? Nell feels like she's been consistently putting aside her needs to serve others, and it's making her irritable. It's making her irritable. She's in, and she's also kind of like in this self-righteous energy where she needs people to recognize that she's a leader, that she knows best, but at the same time she's coming in as kind of like angry, maybe even overbearing, or something like that, maybe even catty. Even it could even be boiled down to that, but because she's an older woman, I don't want to use words like catty because that sounds like some type of young thing. But maybe on this season we're gonna see her being a little bit more sharp, or a little bit more angry, or a little bit more even cold, or blowing hot and cold, or one minute she feels like she's with you, the next minute she feels like she has something against you or something like that. Now, I don't know how old Nell is, but this could also be premenopause because I'm showing that she's having some hot flashes. You know what I mean? And when you having hot flashes, my mother-in-law, she told me that shit rises up from your toes all the way to the top of your head. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she's in the middle of filming and she's having like these hot flashes, or maybe she feels them coming on, and then it just makes her have a attitude with people. But I see her as flashing on people. Whoever that is, I show her as going in. So I feel like we can look forward to some of that from Nell. But again, she's hoping that whatever she provides, or whatever energy she provides, that's going to have a good return for her. The family is here. We have the 10 of Pentacles here. I think that represents her business. Maybe her being bored with it in some type of way, or maybe even her trying to set up some passive income. You know what? When I look at this four, because she has the 4 of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Pentacles, right? And the 4 of Cups in reverse is about passive energy. And for some reason, passive income just came to my head. So I don't know if they're trying to set up some form of passive income, to where maybe she wants to relinquish her business or something like that. But what she's thinking about that, but what she's looking for is some type of sign, or some type of alternative thing that she can put her time and her energy into, that she can make passive income from. So maybe she's losing interest in what she has going on now, and she's searching for kind of like new avenues to kind of like take her life in some type of way. Nell might also be a little bit restless. I feel like maybe she needs to start meditating, but I feel like the restlessness might be related to those hot flashes. Like I said, it's like a feeling of physical discomfort in her body, but it's making her very irritable. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say anxious so much, but it's like irritation, or angry, or even some narrow-mindedness, or like being cruel about something, or just over something. You know what I mean? And like I said, when it comes to the guy Chris, I feel like she got that nigga nuts in a vice grip, and I don't know if that's what's leading him to, you know, be having conversations with these other people, or if him having the conversations with the other women have led to this. But there's definitely like some arguing, or some kind of like disagreement in regards to another woman that's in a situation. I don't know who she is. She could be a fair skin, or I don't know. The Queen of Wands can be a white woman, but she could be like a fair-skinned woman, or I don't know, a redhead woman, or something like that. That's usually how they describe the Queen of Wands in the tarot. But we're black people, so it's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe she got freckles or something. I don't know. But Nell is bored. She's bored with the whole. I feel like she's bored with maybe the repeating narratives, or maybe the repeating cycles that she's having within her own family. And I feel like in general, it's just a period of time where I feel like she's kind of like rejecting her family a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel like she just is looking for something else. Maybe she has maybe she's not sleeping, or maybe her appetite is off, or something like that. But I don't know. I'm getting a huge sense that she's going through like some feminine changes, and she might be just flashing because of that. You know what I mean? It's something like that going on here. Let's move forward. Queen of Swords and the Lover's card. Like I said, I feel like Nell is going in on Chris Fletcher about something behind closed doors. I feel like there's some problems. You know, the Queen of Swords in reverse, she can be an ex-wife for one. That's one of the main things. But also, there's kind of like a bitter energy or a feeling of her being, like I said, upset about something. Maybe there's something that she needs to sleep on. There's like a decision. You know what I mean? There's a decision that she needs to make. That Two of Pentacles was there. That kind of can represent weighing out some options, or looking at how you want to handle things, or thinking of different ways that you might want to handle things. Then you have the Moon card and the Four of Swords, and that's almost like saying that sleep on it. You know what I mean? Don't rush into a decision. Don't rush to cut something off. But the Queen of Swords in reverse, she does that, and it's really because she's being critical, out of disappointment, out of heartbreak. Sometimes you can resist making certain decisions when you're the Queen of Swords in reverse, because you're not ready for things to change, or maybe you feel just too stressed out. But I feel like there's an overall feeling of Nell feeling like she sacrificed too much. There's also a sense of her, she uses like some type of trickery, or like she does some type of trickery to get what she wants. Now, I don't know if this is within the show or her trying to negotiate contracts or something, but she's crafty. She's kind of crafty. You know what I mean? Her family or somebody in her family is experiencing her or feeling like she is an evil person. I don't feel like she's malicious per se, but more so mean. And maybe they're taking it as she's being malicious, but she just has a disposition with her family or something like that, where her attitude comes from like some type of disappointment in them or something. Like she's disappointed. I don't know if she's disappointed with her children or her husband, but there's a feeling of disappointment, and it's leading for her to have like a bad temper or like behave towards them negatively. But it's really because she's frustrated. It's not because she's malicious or she doesn't love them. But maybe there's a sense of her needing to become more loving, or maybe she will become more loving at some point. But with the Four of Wands in reverse, this is almost like saying, even though the Four of Wands is a good, happy card, no matter which way you cut it, when it's in reverse, sometimes it can represent like unstable emotions on the home front, or something about the home being unstable. But it's not with the foundation. It's more so with like the personality clashes. You know what I mean? Now, if this is work, or if this is the show, then this can be her trying to go along to get along, because she doesn't want to upset like the harmony of the group. You know what I mean? So maybe she's like really not emotionally attached to the situation, and she kind of like tries to stay up in her head and focus on like a good time. Otherwise, she's going to get tipped off and go off on everybody. You know what I mean? So like, I'm looking at this Four of Wands and this Queen of Swords, and it's almost giving me a vibe like she has some irritability, frustration, and stress that she takes out on her family. But when it comes to work or with the show, she tries to keep it light and tries to have fun. But it's almost like if a fly lands on her, she gonna lose it. You know what I mean? Lose it on the cast, lose it on people around her. I don't know. So I feel like she's trying to hold it together and go above the fray. Like I said, go along to get along, stay above board. But inside, she's like not feeling like that. You know what I mean? She's trying to project this picture of perfect happiness, but in the inside, she's like seething. You know what I mean? I don't know why this is showing as Nell being like a wicked stepmother. But I feel, like I said, I don't feel like it's malicious. I feel like it's just the way she's coming across as of right now. And again, like I said, Nell she has some type of like disappointment or heartbreak. And I don't know if that's something that she never really let go of, or something that they dealt with in the past that she never really got past or never really let go of on an emotional level, to the point where it's like a part of her being, or something that she keeps like very below the surface. You know what I mean? The Queen of Swords, this is weird thing that I got though. The Queen of Swords, the Lovers, and the Two of Cups in reverse. Was Chris, I know that they say like there's an argument about Nell being a side chick, right? My question is, was Chris married to somebody at the same time that him and Nell got married? Because sometimes the Queen of Swords can get married while they're already married. And there's two marriages here, or there's two relationships here. And like I said, that Queen of Wands can represent a side chick. It can represent her having been one, or it can represent him having one right now. But with this Four of Wands and a Lover's card, this is a marriage. But with the Queen of Swords in reverse, this is somebody who was maybe already married. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is even Nell's first marriage for that matter. But again, I also showed them having been looking for like a counselor or something like that. Maybe they're realizing that they haven't got past it the way that they should, or she's still harboring it, because there seems to be an issue of her having some anger or going off on people. It could be empty nest syndrome too, though, because the Four of Wands, when it's here, and then you got that Ten of Pentacles, maybe they family is just, maybe everybody's going their own way. You know what I mean? And maybe now it's just her and Chris, and now, you know, issues of the past are resurfacing or something like that, but it's due to some type of empty nest or something. You know what I mean? Or it's almost like they're finding out, or they're having fears about not being compatible after everybody is cleared away. Like maybe they were good when they had a joint purpose, but now that it's just the two of them, they're kind of scared that they're not compatible, or they're just on different levels. You know what I mean? Or different, they operate very differently. And this is something that's coming to the surface. A lot of fears, a lot of insecurities. Maybe even now, oh, wait a minute. Didn't we see, who was we talking about where we seen a gray haired lady? Because the Queen of Swords in reverse is here. We just saw that. I cannot remember. That's a gray haired lady. Hold on. Why is Nell coming in as the Queen of Swords here? And we were just wondering who the Queen of Swords was in another reading. That's interesting. That's interesting. But the case in point is that there seems to be something suppressed in Nell as it pertains to this marriage with Chris. Some suppressed anger, some hostility, some cruelty. Maybe she feels like earlier on in the marriage she didn't have enough of a backbone. Now she's overcompensating from that. Maybe she was cold or feeling cold or something like that. I'm just thinking of all the things that I can associate with the Queen of Swords in reverse, because what I know for sure is that she's mad and she's mean. And this is usually some type of repressed or latent emotion that comes out. You know what I mean? Remember I was getting that sleep-wanted energy? I'm wondering, this is in the external environment. I wonder if this has to do with Chris. I wonder if he, I don't want to say plays sick, but I wonder if he tries to, because he was the King of Cups in reverse in the last spread that I did. And that's a person that's like emotionally unavailable, right? But they can also be evasive. And I wonder if he tries to like sleep it off when it comes to being around her or deal with her when it's just the two of them. I wonder if he tries to like, you know, just go to sleep and check out and not deal with it. You know what I mean? If he's not, you know, dealing with somebody else, or, you know, or he's stuck in the house because she breaking his balls, you know, maybe there's a feeling of him checking out by sleeping. Is he a Pisces? Why did I just get Pisces? Oh, the moon. I was going to say, why did I get Pisces? Because I'm looking at the moon card. Is he a Pisces? What's his sign? Do you guys know? I don't know. There's a trip here, too. I wonder if this is the trip that they took on the show, because this is a trip that is regarding into some water or a boat. And I'm wondering if Nell had her moment, because it's the Six of Swords and the Six of Wands. This is like showing me a situation where you was like the hero, or you came out as the star of that moment. You know what I mean? So maybe when they take their trip, their girls trip on the boat, maybe she's one of the main characters, you know, whether she smooths something out, or whether she's able to get along with everybody, or she's the voice of reason or something like that. But I feel like she was successful in maybe neutralizing some type of like emotional combat or turmoil. Or maybe she provided like the route to a conversation that was supposed to be happening. Maybe she was like mediating something, but it's a sense of her having like a position of respect, or being in a situation where she's respected for helping people like move past something that was like, it was a lot of like turmoil and conflict involved with it, with this Six of Swords. But there's something that she did to kind of like clear the path, or maybe she was like being objective or had like a good perspective of things. Or maybe there's even some type of like discernment that she used, where she was able to like help people like navigate the situation, or navigate their emotions to where people were able to get past something based on her advice, or based on some recommendation that she had, and it's coming in as something that she was like being thanked for, or that people were like giving her props over. The Six of Swords is here. This is a trip by boat. So it makes me feel like it happened on that girls trip that they had. But this is like, when I look at the Star card and the Six of Pentacles in the beginning, and her hoping to kind of like be like a more of a star, this Six of Wands is saying that she is emerging that way. That she's emerging as a star on this show. But she's doing it because people are supportive of her efforts and seeing her as trying to get past shit. You know what I mean? Or trying to help people get past something. It's almost like, I don't want to say she's a voice of reason per se, but she's like helping navigate the conflict for people. Now, this is maybe a good thing, because within her own house, I don't show that she's having that same energy. Or like I said, maybe everybody in her house is going their same way, and she is just her and Chris, and she's lost her usefulness. You know, like empty nest syndrome. You know what I mean? And so amongst this group, she's like, you know, I don't know if she's like the conflict resolute person. I don't know, but I feel like she's going to be emerging as somebody that's like the authority on something. Yeah, she got some mean, evil little ways about her, but she's not malicious, not in a real sense. And she's a little tricky, or she can be tricky, or she can use trickery to get what she wants. I'm not going to say she's playing somebody like a fool, but I'm saying that she has her ways about her. You know what I mean? She's cunning, which maybe that's what's required to navigate all this stuff. Who knows? But whatever it is, public opinion, the group opinion, the people on the show are going to be applauding her. Could this be over somebody else? I'm not sure, because even though this Queen of Wands is here and this represents the other woman, like I told you guys earlier, with the Two of Cups, this could also represent just like an op as far as like the friendship. Now, I highly doubt that, because there's too many marriage cards here. There's the Four of Wands, the Lover's card, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. This is definitely referring to a marriage, right? But if I were not reading their marriage and I said, let's just keep this strictly confined to the show, this could be just her having a rivalry with another woman based on like trying to like have the most power and influence within the group. You know what I mean? Which makes me feel like, are you and Letitia, because we saw them having their little tussle, but do they have like a silent competition, or a silent kind of like, I don't want to say agenda, but it's each of them fighting to have the most influence over the girls, or to be, you know what I mean? Now, from Letitia's standpoint, I feel like her thing is like, she feels that she's like successful in marriage and business. I noticed like she always emphasizes her being a boss or whatever moves that she's made. And then there's Nell, who's older and proven, but they're tussling, and it's like, how do you have two people with such a generational gap between them arguing or tussling with each other? So it has to be for influence amongst this group, because that's the only thing that they share in common. You know what I mean? It's power and influence amongst the group. So it makes me feel like, are they tussling, or is there a silent battle between them for control over the friendships? Because everybody's like friends with everybody except for Mel. We know that, right? Or at least that's what's being said. I don't know that, right? Because I haven't seen it yet. But amongst the girls that are left, or that are all getting along, I feel like Nell and Letitia are fighting for power over, or who's going to be like the it girl, or who's in charge, you know what I mean, of the group. The Ten of Pentacles, in addition to family issues, can represent a group. You know? That's just a way to look at it. That's just definitely a way to look at it. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. But anyways, that's what I got for Nell Fletcher. So let me know what you guys think of the video. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, that you have your notification bells on. And I'll definitely see you guys on the next one.